Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Let's make sure we got everything all taken care of on the Rumble side, as always. And let's see here. All right, looks like we're good on this side. All right, we already got 8 people watching, guys. Do me a favor. This is the bonus episode of the Shooting in the Woods podcast, and comment in the chat. I know there's like a 20-second delay, but comment in the chat so we know you're here. Make sure you also check out the super dope weekend deals that I found over at brownells.com. We can say that because we're over on Rumble. We're live on Rumble, I might add. But the link in the chat is the recent blog post. I'm a little bit of a blogger every once in a while. So we got a great show tonight. We got, like I said, the bonus episode with my buddy Josh from Black Diamond Guns and Gear. We're waiting on him to come in. And we have Bubbles in the background. We'll explain who Bubbles is in a minute. But Bubbles is our friend that we've had many times on. I have to change his name because when we upload this to YouTube, it's going to get demonetized. So we're giving him the nickname Bubbles. And I kind of hope it sticks, to be quite honest. But that's just me. We see Flying Rich is out in the chat. What's going on here? Obviously not great. I'm not the guest. Well, listen, I know you are doing the church thing this whole week, brother. I know you're doing. I know you're busy with the family. It's Easter weekend. This is like the low-key Easter weekend special. Live Life is out in the chat. Alabama in the house. What's going on, brother? I appreciate all the funny stuff you have been sending me on Instagram. Awesome, dude. Light or dark bubbles. They glow, if that makes any sense. But all right, cool. We got live people in the audience. That's awesome. We got Kurt24 out there as well. Q. I don't know how to pronounce your name. It looks like I think that might be Damian Christ, my brother in Christ. What's up? All right. So let's make sure I click the right button. All right, cool. We're gonna start the show off like we're supposed to. Alrighty, what is crackalacking, everybody? Thank you for joining the Shooting Those podcast at 10 o'clock at night. Past 10 o'clock. This is late for us, but we're trying something different. Plus, I was trying to help out my buddy Josh. Again, we're still waiting on him. I know he had some family stuff. Hopefully, he can make it. But we also have Bubbles. So I see his stuff in the backstage already, the shenanigans. I see some other people that have been coming in. Looks like we got Rumble Vulcan out there. What's going on? We got Kurt24, Come Out in PLA, Flying Rich, Live Life. And I'm going to go with Damian Christ because I'm looking at the picture. Grotesque. I'm guessing it sounds like Damian Christ. We got DLD After Dark in the chat. We got a lively chat. 19 people, guys. Make sure you're smashing the like button on Rumble as well. We appreciate it. This is episode 221. Yes, Live Life. We're going to do a strap check in a second, but let's thank the awesome people that make this podcast happen.
Guys, this podcast is sponsored by the amazing people over at Aegis Gun Care. Aegis Gun Care, I've been saying it for years, is the leader in firearms cleaning, lubrication, and solutions. It's a two-part system. You guys have been hearing it forever. I love Aegis Gun Care. This is the cleaner. It gets all your carbon off your firearms. It doesn't have a smell, and it's non-toxic. Then you follow it up with their special lubricant. We call it Joe Juice here on the Shooting in the Woods podcast. This stuff is amazing. It prevents rust. It lubricates your firearms. It does a ton of amazing qualities. You guys I cannot stress enough how much I love Aegis Gun Care. They also have cleaning kits available. This is their field kit. You get everything from 22 up till 45. You can get patches, you can get hats, merchandise, and even some pretty cool cleaning mats. If you do me a favor and go over to Aegis Gun Care and use code JOJUICE, you will save 10% off your entire order. And we thank Aegis Gun Care so much for sponsoring today's podcast.
Guys, use code JOJUICE. That's one of the biggest things that could help us out. Please do me a favor and use code JOJUICE for 10% off. We love Aegis Gun Care. Look at that. We got the bottle of Joe Juice right there. And Bubbles is actually live on Instagram right now, so that's awesome. You guys will probably understand. You probably guys already guessed who is actually live on Instagram right now, but it is what it is. But check out Aegis Gun Care. Also, big
Guys,
thanks.
this podcast is sponsored by Liberty Bell Firearms. Liberty Bell Firearms is the Cerakote of choice here on the channel. They did the Kit Kat build, paint on the frame. This is the SCT frame. Everything we built over from Brownell's Parts. I said, man, I want this to look like a Kit Kat wrapper. He did it. This is awesome. The video is not doing it justice. He not only did the logo, but he did the pins, controls, all different colors, extremely custom. And he also offers laser stippling on things like AR-15 grips, laser engraving as well for metal parts, say your slide, frame, 1911 grip panels. Guys, if you want to get some really cool designs done or get some stuff Cerakoted, please check out Liberty Bell Firearms. They're offering the listeners of this podcast 20% off by using code JOJUICE. We thank Liberty Bell Firearms for sponsoring today's podcast.
Thank you to Liberty Bell Firearms. Look at that Kit Kat build. It is absolutely just dead sexy. Just, oh man, the lighting is hitting that red tonight, and you get that burnt bronze Timney Alpha trigger. Obviously, it's clear. We're not going to be having any desk pops. If you guys haven't checked it out, we also have Ameriglow suppressor height sights. Oh, you can even see. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that green dot Holosun 507K. Liberty Bell was able to do the pins, the external controls, and the frame. It looks dead sexy. So use code JOJUICE for 20% off all your Cerakote and laser stippling. He didn't stipple that. The SET frame comes stippled just like that. But guys, we're still waiting on Big Josh from Black Diamond Guns Gear. So let's introduce Bubbles. You know him. You love him. He glows at night. It's DLD After Dark, but I'm calling him Bubbles because every time I put his name in anything, like Babyface P or Tony Simon, I'm demonetized. Dark, what's up, buddy? You're still muted.
Yes, this is true, ladies and gentlemen. DLD After Dark is known for getting people demonetized on YouTube and himself being demonetized on YouTube. So thank you for having me. I was going to go live tonight on my show. I did a little flippity floppity, so I got some free time tonight, and I'm glad to be here with you, man.
I appreciate it. We have Rumble Vulcan out there saying, buy a blocked mag for me, just to piss off a liberal. Well, this is a blocked mag because I still haven't drilled out the rivet on my 365 because I believe it was Kurt. Who was it? Was it Kurt 24 or Live Life? Strap check. He's being a PF 940 with Revelation 34 slide. Well,
nice.
Well, Live Life, I will say. And Rich is saying I can't count past 3, so 221 might as well be a Brazilian. Okay. Like Bazillion. Yeah. Okay. I like that. But my strap check tonight, I've been carrying this for probably the last couple months for some reason. I don't know why. I go back between my 19 and my 365, my custom 365. This is a 365 Spectre FCU, SIG gray frame,
Nice.
Patmos Revelation slide barrel, all that good stuff. I don't know the brand of the sights, but and I have a Holosun 507K. That's also this is a red dot, but look at that rust. That's the one thing I hate about the 365.
Beautiful.
That rust there. It no matter
That's that
what.
Florida rust, man.
No, I've had this since Massachusetts. One, I have that like acid sweat, not like from touching it, like, oh man, it's gonna rust within like a couple of days. Like,
But did it rust in Massachusetts too?
I don't know. I just noticed it when I got down here, but like,
Oh,
I carry this every single day, so it
damn!
might
You
just
got
be
rust on the
this.
rear sights too.
Yeah,
Damn, that shit's rusty and crusty.
I could put some Aegis on there with a brass brush and just kind of clean it all up. I could do that.
Yeah,
You know,
but that requires work.
not even work. It's more of just pure laziness, to be quite honest. Like, I have no problem doing the work because I did it for so long. But just
Hmm.
see, look at that travel right there. Oh yeah,
It's a
beautiful.
beaut. It's a
Yeah.
beaut.
What is your strap? What are you strap checking today?
So tonight I am carrying my Glock 43, but this is a Glock 43 on a 48 MOS frame. So essentially, it's a Glock 43X MOS with the I don't want to show the other side with the shield arms 15 plus one with a plus 5 plus 1 with 21 rounds in it. And don't worry, everyone out there, this has been checked and it is safe. Clearly, it's safe, meaning there's a round in the chamber, because that's that's the way firearms are supposed to be
Ready
stowed.
to rock.
Yep.
Yeah.
However, for those guys and gals out there that don't know, I recently have joined the National Women's Foundation of Shooting, and I now am an owner of a SIG 365. Compliments
Oh,
to JSD, because look at that Patmos, baby, with the Wilson Combat Jammy with the gold FCU. Woof! This thing is fire.
the only thing that kills me about that is that it has the safety lockout because it's supposed to have he bought it for a manual safety,
Yeah,
and you don't have a manual safety, but like, yeah, that looks
it was
beautiful.
actually gifted to me secondhand by a stranger friend at the range. And Joe is sending me one, which I'll be using that one, and I'm probably gonna end up um, taking your advice and doing a threaded barrel, time a comp on there with some shims or something like that, and then use that with the X Macro grip. But no sights, no magazines. But this thing is cool. I'm excited. It's a dope women's gun.
Well, it's actually, I mean, it's one of those. You're such a Glock 19, just Glock, enthusiast, and now you're changing it up, and everyone's gonna be like, "What? He's liking
Yep.
SIGs now?" Or grotesque, which I believe is Damien Christ.
It
Because
is.
okay, so
Yeah.
our brother in Christ, his strap check is a SIG 320 with a Parker Mount Machine Ultra Comp Swamp Fox Justice Goon Beam Hornady Critical Duty Jacket Hollow Points. That's
Nice.
nice. There you go. Parker Mount Machine's dope. Kurt 24 is a Glock 48 MOS, Gideon Judge, PSA 15 round mags,
Beautiful.
and a JM4 tactical holster.
I'm rocking my JM4 tactical holster as well. It's comfy when I'm rocking the sweats. Reholstering can be
It might be a bitch.
yeah. Well, I do it a little differently. So this is hot, right? So when I drizzle, what I do is I actually pull the magnet up, and then as I'm reholstering, I'm just kidding. As I'm reholstering, I apply like a little bit of pressure to it as I'm holstering. Of course, I'm doing it safely, but it took a while for me to figure out how to do that without completely removing the unit, and it's different.
Well, everyone has different opinion. Everyone has different experiences. Great holster just didn't work for me. So we are still waiting, but we had 23 people watching, guys. Please make sure you're hitting
Beautiful.
the like button. At one point, we had 35 people, so we're gonna try and keep that momentum going.
I will say, can I
kinda-
just add one quick thing? A lot of people kind of, give people shit for certain things, like, oh, you're not rocking like the homies holster, or oh, you're rocking this holster or that or whatever. Like, guys, we have to understand that a holster is a very intimate decision that you have to make, right? Like, you're literally shoving a pound of steel and precious metals right next to your precious jewels, and you're going to be dangling a pound of of steel next to your sack. So if people want to make a different decision and go a different direction, that's totally fine, right? Don't bust balls over it, guys.
Yeah, exactly. And if someone doesn't like a certain product, I mean, they shouldn't be chastised for it. Come on, PLA said he had a P365 XL Wilson Combat Module. I believe that is a Gideon Optics Judge Green Dot,
Oh,
a Saik holster, and 124 grain HSDs. Hell yeah.
psych.
If I want to in and out with a holster, I use the one BD Black Diamond Guns and Gear Designs for the
Yep.
Husky fellas. Yep, I use the Fat Guy holster or the Tuck holster on my Glock 19 when I carry my Glock. I've carried that for years. Different variations from different companies.
Mhm.
Josh sent me the first design from the first people he worked with, and it's literally been a game changer. I'm in the process of trying to convert all the holsters of the guns I actually want to carry to that design for bigger guys, whether it be North Coast Tactical or fattech.com, which we will
Yep.
be talking about later on tonight. Once Josh gets here,
Yeah.
I don't want to bug him, but if I don't hear from him by 10:30, I will text him and be like, yo, ooh, look at that. What do we got here?
Little Scorpy love.
Oh, you have those really gay Picatinny rail covers.
Yeah, but there's a reason though. So it's like holding a cheese grater when you're dumping a 35 round magazine in under 3 seconds. And because it's not an SBR, I can't put what's supposed to be here on it because I have the clickety, clackety, flackety. You know
Oh,
what I'm
you have
saying?
that $700 binary trigger, huh?
No, this one was like four something.
Okay,
450.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's not
That,
the MP5.
yeah, but I do have one of those too.
I
And
know.
those are like $700.
Yeah, it's completely asinine.
But they're
But
fun. So
well,
much
what
fun.
you should do, Dark, is take that gun, stop, dealing with the brace bulk shit.
Turn it into a machine gun.
No, well, yes, but also just form one it and get the Safety Harbor Firearms KES stock, and that thing will be dead sexy.
So funny thing, like 3.5, maybe 4 years ago, completely like I had no idea who Safety Harbor Firearms was at all before I started a channel or anything at all. I just randomly went online and I bought a Picatinny adapter for the Scorpion from Safety Harbor Firearms before I even had a channel or anything at all. So I have that for a Picatinny attachment. And you know what would look super sick on that thing? I would love to do the compact entry stock, but part of me is just feeling like an MCX stock on that thing would be pure sex.
Gay.
No, those things are dope. They're not cool on MCXs, but they're cool on other stuff.
Well, then again, what about those people that get like the MCX 16-inch rifle? Like it's just heavy.
24-pound AR.
Yeah,
That's
you're
insane.
you're essentially holding a mini bike up, and you're like, "Oh, check this out!" Yeah.
Yeah, look at my regular shit that does what everyone else's DIAR can do.
But you're paying $3,000 for a 16-inch rifle.
Yeah, it's like I know this conversation came up literally last night on the Tactical Turkeys. Whiskey and Windage came on there. Really cool guys. They're awesome. Can't wait to do some stuff with them in the future. But every single person on the panel totally shitted on the MCX, the MCX Virtus, and the MCX Spear. Everyone was like, nope. And one dude had one in the background.
I like the MCX Virtus, the patrol that was grayed out. That gun was awesome because that was like the most popular rifle in Massachusetts when I lived there. I had to do a lot of compliance work on them just so we could sell them. But like I shot the absolute crap out of those guns, like sighting them in for optics. They are really well made. I wish they didn't stray from that design because that gray that they had on the Virtus, was just dead sexy. You get a gray frame on that. Oh my god, we got Mr. Bullshitter out there in the chat as well. What's up, brother?
Mr. Bullshitter, what up?
Yeah. So it's just the MCX. If it was a little bit cheaper, maybe I'd be getting into it. But then again, I'm at the same time. You're looking at the CZ Bren 2. Like that gun is $2,200.
Shit, you could get one of those. What are the B&Ts in 5.56?
I don't know what they're called. All I know from B&T is the APC-9.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's
Granted, the
basically.
APC, the APC-9 is about $2,500 too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're not being any. You put B&T, it's like, okay, how about I just drop a nickel on here? And I mean a nickel, not 500, like 5,000.
Yeah, yeah.
But the
5 stacks.
yeah, like the CZ Bren 2, I feel is a better gun than the MCX.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
that it's just that $2,200 for that gun, and it doesn't have the grip on it is what gets a lot of people. Stock is awesome. It's lightweight, recoils very well, soft shooting, but it's just awkward to hold because
Suppresses very well.
I've never shot it suppressed. Now I'm living down here in the great state of Florida,
But what does that gun most remind you of? What firearm does the Bren most remind you of?
the Scar.
And how much is a Scar pistol?
I saw one yesterday. So I went to a local gun shop in Clearwater called Shoot Straight. So if you're in the Florida area, you know what Shoot Straight is. They're like all over the state. I actually sold my Ruger Security 9 Compact. He had one in 5.56 on the wall.
For what, like 36, 3,800, something like that?
41.
41?
I think I want to say it was 41. But I'm like,
basically four stacks for okay, so and the CZ Bren 2 is what?
22. But
Yeah.
then all you gotta do is pay $300 to get the Haga Defense lower, and you can have all AR control, all the AR pistol grip, all that stuff. Same thing, but
Yeah.
it's $350 when Haga Defense is selling them out there. There's certain guns out there that, like, yeah, they're a great platform. You just have to tweak them a little bit. The Bren 2 is there. If they brought the Bren 2 down to like $1,300, I'd be all over it.
Yeah.
When you can get a Geisley Super Duty for 17,
Yeah.
on sale, it's like what that's what's killing the sales of stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, in that rifle, man, I've been shooting ARs for a very long time. I have shot, I don't want to say almost every AR, but I have shot a literal metric fuck ton of ARs.
Yeah.
And that Geisley Super Duty, man, is a special rifle.
I've shot some pretty cool ARs. I've shot the M&Ps. I've shot the Ruger AR 5.56s.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I've shot some higher end stuff. I shot a Sugar Weasel. I've shot a Geisley Super Duty, Daniel Defense, which kind of sucks. Just saying. Not a big Daniel Defense guy. But
yeah, no, Daniel Defense is way overpaying for mil-spec garbage with their name spray painted on it.
Yeah, and I've shot an FN-15, great gun. Never shot an LWRC, but
those are great guns.
Yeah, the Geisley, I'd say, is top tier. And I have the BRN-15 too, which I love. Granted, I have a separate lower end, but the Geisley trigger is what it comes down to, and a lot of those guns don't have the Geisley trigger, unless it's the Sugar Weasel that literally is the best trigger ever made.
It is a very, very nice trigger, but that SSAE trigger with the lightning bow from Geisley, whoo, that thing is insane.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. We have a question from the chat. It says, from Christy Trutell, "What's up, honey? Hope you're doing well. I hope you're able to get some sleep tonight. Guys, go check out the Heller Foundation, a great organization fighting for our rights. Do you guys think there's such a thing as carrying an EDC that's too concealable/small? Had an incident outside of a grocery store where I was likely about to get kidnapped a few days ago. Yeah, that was really sketchy. These two dudes like parked next to her car, just like wouldn't leave, and watch her walk in and watch her walk out, and think she had a firearm on her. But do you think it's too? There's such a thing as too concealable?
Absolutely, 100%.
So if you're for someone that's trying to carry like an LCP2 light rack in 22, that is way too small. But
The smaller your gun, the more obscure your draw has to be.
Look at this bitch. Just look at that. You just press out, boom, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you up the ante. All right. This is what you do. You up the ante. But yeah, I would recommend. I always think. Well, granted, you and me are both in agreement that the 19 is just like the gold standard.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think just to kind of touch on that really quickly, I think there's a few things. So the smaller a firearm and the more concealed it is, the more put away it is. Like people typically will take a Ruger LCP, a Keltec P3AT, or even whatever, any kind of pocket gun. And when it goes in your pocket, in a pocket holster, if you're in a car, it's more difficult to get to, it's further away. And then you realize when you may get into a situation or get into a situation, how seriously outgunned you are. But then you're like, well, that was only one split second in my life and nothing bad happened. I don't want to run around all day uncomfortable as shit carrying a Glock 34 with an acro and a TLR1 on it because because something might happen.
Okay, this is okay. I gotta stop you for a second. Hot take here: if you carry a 34 with a TRL1 and an acro, and you probably have like a +5 mag extension, you're an asshole. Like,
Dude, that shit's
no,
tits.
no.
If you can pull it off, if it's comfortable, I say carry everything you can. I mean, dude,
I get it, but
literally,
you're that's excess. Like, I don't
mean,
know. It's just with all that shit, you got like 4 pounds of gun on you.
is this excessive?
Hold on. No, that's not excessive. That's like understandable. But a Glock 34 is like
It's a big gun.
it's a big ass gun. Then you're throwing an acro and then a TRL1, or if like you have a Surefire X300 turbo, like it's so massively huge. But when you up the ante and throw one of these bad boys in your car, this is the High Point 1095 carbine. Video just went up today about it. Dead sex. Like
that thing's cool.
This thing fucks. All right. You got the Viridian RFX 44 with I want to say an 1.5-inch riser on there, close emitter optic. This thing fucks. All right.
That's tight.
Yeah. Shout out to High Point for checking on us.
Joe, you need to bullpup that cat.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to bullpup this gun.
Oh, Rumble Vulcan has a good question.
Okay, what is Rumble? Rumble Vulcan is asking, what would you carry for vehicle defense? 50 meter range.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'm a bit biased because I actually work for this company. 50 meter range, effective vehicle defense. Are you trying to say you're looking for a vehicle, like a gun to keep in the vehicle, or a gun to defend against vehicles?
I think he's saying like keep within reach in your vehicle.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
To be able to defend within 50 meters around you.
Okay, yeah. So I misunderstood that. I thought you meant vehicle defense.
To stop those incoming vehicles.
Yeah, like I was immediately SHTF 50. But no, I would say either a good AR, like a 14.5 AR, a truck gun, so within 50 meters. Honestly, the new Jackal, that would be a good gun. If you're looking for like concealability and folding, and you're still looking for, hey, you can dump a ton of 9mm, Keltec Sub 2000, an MP5 with a compact entry stock. A lot of PCCs out there. The Ruger Charger, the PC Charger. I think that would be a good one. The LC Carbine Charger, that would be an amazing one. Put a brace on that. You get 5.7. You get I think you can get extended mags for it too, so you get up to 30 rounds of 5.7. That would be a great gun. But
you said LC Charger?
Yeah, they have the LC Carbine and they have the LC Charger, which is
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Which is like the pistol version.
Yeah.
And they're pretty cool. Live Life says the 34 is my house carry. The Geisler with the dagger is my out Okay, there you go. Sweet.
Nice. Oh yeah.
And
Shout
I'm
out
not
to
and live life. I was not targeting you for the 34. All right. It's just when you add the acro, the mag extension, and like the massively large light, then I'd say it's a little excessive.
yeah. I mean, and to be fair, I was kind of using that as my, you know, carrying a big ass pistol, like the difference of carrying an LCP or a P3AT and a 34 with a mailbox and a mag extension and a light and all that. But you could find something in between. The to go back to that really quickly, one thing, draw time, you got to be a second and a half draw to first shot. That is difficult when you get more concealed. And if you're rolling with like, 7 rounds of of 380 ACP, or if you're what is she carrying? Chrissy's rocking the 509.
She has the actually she goes between the 509 compact and the 365 X macro comped.
Okay.
And she also asked what role should color play in EDC. I prefer now everything black to match all my clothing and my work clothes. So I'd agree with that. But Dark, continue what you were going to say before we move on.
Yeah, so real quick, just what I see typically when women carry a gun that may be for like a big dude, like we're big dudes, we can carry big guns, right? It's just something that we can kind of get away with,
I got
even if
Gert.
it's not the most. Yeah, yeah. I got a stage name. It's Girth Brooks. Um, but like a gun that we could get away with carrying much more easily with women, usually what I see is they put it away, they stow it in their purse. When you put a gun like that away, it takes you way like 5 to 7 seconds to present it and then to acquire picture and fire. It's just too long, right? And you can't draw from the drop. Even with a so I'm at like a sub 1.25 draw to first shot right now, and it takes someone pointing a gun at me less than 0.3 seconds to pull the trigger. So it would be almost impossible for me to almost, it depends on the circumstances. So find your happy medium of what can I live with on myself all day every day and still draw and deploy rapidly and put a at least the first shot on target within 1.5 seconds. Secondly, switching back to the 50-meter vehicle defense, one, I would say every defender out there, so every man, every warrior of God, every whatever you want to call yourself, warrior, poet, whatever, right? Uh, it is so important that you can hit a silhouette at 100 yards with your pistol accurately. Like you can select a quadrant on the silhouette and hit it at 100 yards, because God forbid if you end up in that situation, I'm not saying you're going to have to take a hostage shot at 100 yards with your pistol, but at least work on that, because if all you have is your pistol and you're in your car and you did have to take a long shot, usually 100 yards is like murder. But I'm just saying, if something happened, it's important to do that. Secondly, I would say it would be one of the only good applications for like a sub gun, like the Scorpion, like the MP5, or a little fold up AR, something like that. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's my thing.
yeah, exactly. I would say, in terms of color, definitely go, black, gray. It all depends on your environment as well. I'm not the biggest fan of FDE, but if you use Liberty Bell firearms, you can actually get any um, any camo pattern you want to match your environment. Flying Rich is out there saying, can we combine the keg and the 12-inch 50 BMG for truck defense? Yes. Then he also says we need an apple pie 50 BMG.
Yes, we do.
That would be cool. So Chrissy again asks, okay, what about a travel long gun? Is there such a thing as a rifle that folds like Transformers?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. If you want to count that really dumb effing Zev foldy Glock that has been already, it's just dumb.
It's cool, but it was cool in the 80s and
Yeah, and
in the 90s.
it was also cool 4 years ago when Magpul released it, and then they
Yeah.
did dick with it.
Yeah. It's
So
been cool till it wasn't cool, and then everyone said we're releasing it, and then never released it. But had they would have been able to corner the effing market if they didn't wait for every other company to come out with 10 subguns and PCCs in the interim, you know?
yeah, exactly. Like they had a golden opportunity, and I think it just failed. But yeah, I think if for a folding one, Smith and Wesson has the FPC, which I think is like a really bad knockoff to the Celtic Sub 2000.
Yeah.
They have the Celtic Sub 2000 and 9mm has and they can fold to the side now. You can get a AR-15 pistol with a law tactical folder for concealability,
Mhm.
or like a CMMG Descent model in a longer caliber that has the folding stock 1913 attachment, which I'm really a big fan of. I have the BRN 180 receiver that we're going to be building an SPR with. That's going to take the side folder. Bear Creek Arsenal has that same design. If you're on the cheaper side, and we are an affiliate now of Bear Creek Arsenal, we have a gun coming in for review. I'm really excited.
Nice. I think it's kind of like it's the same concept as the more your gun can fold up or break down, um, the access becomes a potential concern. I think any additional gun, so let's say a truck gun, trunk gun, a travel long gun, like some folks were talking about in the comments, in addition to your sidearm that you can reach and fire a shot within a second and a half, it's always got to be in addition to. But if you do have to deploy a long gun, the more it folds up and breaks down, the longer it takes to deploy. So just kind of try to find that balance of, could I use the rounds I have at my disposal to fight my way to that gun and deploy it quickly enough? And if the answer is yes, then you can use that as here's an example. So I literally just put it in my other room, but um, I have a little bag. It looks like a laptop bag, and it has my MP5 with the brace folded. With the front pocket has 6 MP5 magazines, and it's super quick. I literally just have to open the zippers, but for the longest time, because I can't fit it in there, it's a very small bag. I'm maxing it out with that MP5. I would have had to grab it, so unzip it, grab it, take it out, open the brace if I choose to, then open the other pouch, then take out a magazine, then lock it back, then stick it in, then whack it, then go to work. Right. So what I did is I found a 20 round mag so I can store it in there, at least with like a cruiser ready. So hot mag, cold chamber. So if I do need to grab it, I literally just zip, take it out, rack, and then go to work if I need to.
Yeah, that's why I like that. Like for the idea with like the forward charging handles, where you can do that HK slap and go to work.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to truck guns, especially when you have your concealed carry, I like the idea of perfect pairs where your handgun takes the same magazine as your truck gun. That's personally, and there's PCCs. That's why I really love the idea of PCCs. So say, for instance, okay, you have a Glock 19 and you have anything that takes a Glock 19 magazine. All
Mhm.
right. Or a Glock 17. That would be even better. Glock 17, everything takes a Glock 17. Or say you have a SIG 320, a Smith & Wesson M&P. There's many firearms that you have that ability to fold up and go back and forth. And if you need to extend the range or whatever, more stability, you have that at your disposal. That's but ARs, there you go. Flying Rich is saying high point, 10 mil bullpup, and the pistol. Yeah, that's a perfect pair.
Yeah.
Just one Bear Creek, not 6. Yes, I know, Rich. You
Yeah.
building your effing Gatling gun.
He was building his Gatling gun, Rich. I don't know what you're doing, but everyone is making fun of you because you're making zero progress, and I hope that stings. I love you.
Ouch.
I'm just saying, buy the parts, dude. You're slacking. You
Ouch.
cannot finish a project like that 90% and then just sit back in your recliner. Like, come on,
Ouch.
dude. Come on. You are, and I'm saying this, Rich, because I love you and you're better than that. Okay. You should be literally cranking rounds out of your Gatling gun right now. I'm just saying.
Well, he's got to come to the shop and get his parts. Not only that, and I think he also has like 2 guns that he has to do paperwork on as well. So
I
I think he's
believe
just
that.
waiting. He's also saying FN57 PS90. Okay.
Who dies with the most gun parts wins.
That's I kind of live that life. I it's weird. I agree with that, but also I'm the same guy that literally just sold 1 handgun and I put 3 guns up for consignment at a local shop here in Sarasota.
We all
Today.
get to those points where, like, we go through the majority of our time only buying, right? Because we've all been burned by selling something, like there's just a few things. Like I bought an Arsenal SLR 95 milled receiver AK for $600. And after a few months, I was just stupid with money back then. Somebody was like, I'll give you $750 for it. I was like, whoa, $150, and now they're worth like $3,500. And then I had a Smith & Wesson Centennial Airlight 296, which is a 5-shot 44 special. It is a K/L frame, which is a but it's very small
Okay.
titanium and scandium. Think of it like this: it was the night guard before night guards were a thing.
Yeah.
44 special. You could eat a bowl of cereal out of those hollow points, man. They were massive. Excuse me. And I loved it, and I got it for like $450, and later on ended up selling it, and then now they're going for like $2,500. And it's just these things constantly happen to me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not selling anything anymore. If something goes up in price, great. Then my collection goes up in price. It's like it's turned into a low liquidity, um, slow to low liquidity collection that just sits. And it interestingly enough, gun collections do gain in value over time.
Yeah, exactly. I've only had 2 guns that I really regret selling. One was my Ruger SR 1911 5-inch all stainless thing was sex.
Those are
Um,
gorgeous.
I I'm thinking I'm that's after I get through a couple guns that I have coming in for review, the next gun I like buy and like I'm saving up for it is going to be that one because I need to buy it again. So I just real quick, I'm not ignoring the chat guys because I know there is a delay. Just to recap, everyone's just like getting on Rich to finish the Gatling gun.
Yes.
Everyone's pretty much saying order the parts.
And his
So
response is sponsors. Come on, it's already done. You just got some bearings and stuff. He what he wants is he wants an ammo sponsor. I don't know, maybe Walt with Safety Harbor Firearms. If you're out there, if you wanna potentially link up with Rich, that'd be cool. I would say that I would donate some ammo to you, Rich, but I won't because dude, my ammo is like it's not going anywhere. You know ammo, man, I feel like we're headed in a direction to where ammo is going to be
currency.
yeah, like winning lottery tickets. Like those are going to
I
be
was
the
yeah, I was
purchase
gonna
metals.
say we got what is it? 9 months till October. I mean,
Uh,
sorry, November.
yeah, I mean we're like 5 to 6 months out from pure insanity, and look at what's happened. Like in not too far from where I live, someone just lit up a kinder care, a child care place because of. Okay, I'm gonna let you guess. Would you guess because of money, because of employment, because of sex, or because of drugs?
I'm gonna go E, all of the above.
Sex.
Really?
It's so funny. Not funny. It's so interesting. It's usually when these things happen, it's either because of just outright evil, just evil shit, or complete and utter mental instability, which I would put drugs, being a addict in recovery. I'm saying I don't want to offend anybody. I'm just saying typically when you're struggling with substance abuse and recovery, usually you're a little fucked up in the head too. Okay. And or
I don't
money.
mean to laugh, but like I understand. Yeah.
It's so true though, right? Like, the people that are on the streets, like, like leaning and nodding out, like they're going through some shit. All right. Like if you saw them a year from now when they're clean, you'd be like, yo, you do not look like the same person at all. If you guys saw me 15 years ago, you would like walk to the other side of the street. I mean, I was not good. One day, I keep saying this, one day I'm going to get a picture of how skinny and like sickly and pale and pretty terrifying I looked at.
You know what? To be quite honest, as your friend and like someone like I told you before, I consider you family. I wouldn't want to see that photo because you know what? You're past that, and
Yeah.
I know you for the man you are and the integrity you have today. I would not want to see. I just personally, I would not want to see it.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, no. So go on with the to go on. So this guy,
Yeah, basically, I just kind of find it not like fascinating because that sounds like, oh, it's so intriguing. Like I find it fascinating. I'll just use that word for the lack of better ones at hand. Um, Almost every single event like that, aside from it being set up and sponsored by our government, which we'll talk about that later, or maybe on my show, um, it's usually just absolute mental instability, one, or two, substance abuse and whatever, or sex and money. It's and it could be somebody cheated on somebody, and I'm not talking about like mass shootings. Those that's
yeah.
a whole. I'm just talking about like crimes of passion, or somebody murdering their spouse, or somebody flipping out and eating a bullet, or what. It's usually shit like that that just kind of pops up. I don't know. It's just something I found interesting.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more of highly documented cases, probably from like July up to September. I think that's when it's going to. I'm going to predict the height, and then maybe October something really bad is going to happen.
Dude,
But
look what's already happened just in the last year. Like, uh, and I plan, depending on how much time we have, I plan on maybe hopping on my show after this. Um, what I see is I see bridges collapsing, quite
yeah,
literally.
what, dude? I'm telling you right now, that Baltimore thing. One, I don't care how windy it was. That boat is huge.
Yeah.
Like that's I think more in depth with that shit. I went over the Skyway Bridge in St. Petersburg to every day for work. The past 3 or 4 days, you know what I see going under it as I'm driving over the bridge?
Cargo ships.
Giant cargo ship.
Yeah.
Every time I go over the bridge, that's what I see for the past week.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Now, are
But
they steering into bridge columns, or are they, you know,
I hope
not?
I hope not. I
You'd
hope
probably
not.
hear if they did. But like food plants burning down
Yeah.
totally, like without explanation, planes crashing into food, wheat and grain, processing plants, ammunition plants exploding, massive amounts of mass tragic events, just crazy shit.
How many train derailments have we had in the past year and a half alone?
Dude, it's I think literally over a dozen, and there's
More,
been
more, more, more. That's more than I've ever heard of in my entire
chemical
life.
explosions. Dude, there's been over 100, listen to this, over 100 facilities that produce food in the United States that have burned down, had planes crashed into them, complete and utter loss, fire, water damage, like cows somehow getting the bird flu, Oh, and millions of chickens, like 80 million chickens, being, needing to be slaughtered because we have to protect all the other livestock, but then all the fucking cows get it anyway. I'm sorry. I'm making your life difficult. We're not supposed to curse like that. Sorry.
This is Rumble.
Yeah,
Okay.
but aren't you going to put it up on YouTube later? Or?
And I don't care.
Okay.
We're way past the 5-minute mark, so
Oh
that
yeah,
we're good.
I forgot. I'm Bubbles, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
Bubbles.
Bubble. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
Bubbles, everybody.
yeah.
And I hope you don't get annoyed with that. It's just it's more of a play on the fact that YouTube.
You know what? You're right. I'm upset, and I'm leaving. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. No,
yeah,
I love
okay.
it. I love it. I would prefer that they call me Bubbles from now on.
All of a sudden, he used the term bubble, and it's just demonetized.
Yeah, right.
The owner, Christy Trill says Trottel says the owner of the cargo container on the ship mysteriously died a few days before the collision.
Ooh.
Hmm.
And where was the captain of the ship from again? Ukraine.
Yeah, and they're looking to ban social media platforms. They're
Mhm.
looking to we got bridges falling down. We're 3 steps.
Planes falling down.
Yeah,
Crazy shit.
when you hear that term, we're 9 meals away from anarchy. I'm
Yep.
not like that's something to really think about, and I don't think that's gonna happen. But when you have stuff like that going on, it makes you think why people in the past couple of years have really held on to that notion of I need a firearm for self-defense,
Yep.
and I want to have a truck gun. I want to have a long gun to travel with. I want to have I want to have a larger carry gun that I'm more proficient with. More people
Mhm.
are getting training than ever before. That's why, why do you think John Level's classes are like $400 for like a day?
And they
Like
sell out like
instantly.
within an hour of being released. But also it's like people are like, not only am I going to commit to carrying a gun, so it's an interesting like an evolution. So
Yeah.
somebody goes, and we see it all the time. You worked in shops all over the country, literally.
Yeah.
I have like a little over 5 years of experience in the past working in a shop, and you would see someone that comes in that's like, I'm thinking of buying a gun. Then they buy a gun, and then they're like, well, I went shooting. I like it. I'm thinking about carrying it. I need a holster. Then they get a holster. Then they're like, man, this holster's dope with this gun. But I realized that my belt sucks. It's from Walmart, right? Then they get a gun belt. Then they get an extra magazine carrier. And they're like, well, if I'm going to carry a gun and with a holster and a gun belt and an extra mag, then I should carry this. And I should carry a knife. And I should get an AR. Then if I'm going to do this, then I should get insurance for that. Then I should get a plate carrier. Then I should get night vision. And it's just this evolution that's like, not everybody takes that road. Some people get that Glock during COVID and then they put it away and they don't even touch it. Some people take training very, very seriously. They take their equipment very seriously. And it's all about that evolution of, just think like I bought a 1911, like, nearly 20 years ago. And it was like, it was over from there. It was just down that path. And, now I'm like Bravo 6 going dark.
Yeah. Like I started with I didn't buy a pistol yet. I started with a Mossberg 715T. It was
Oh, the
absolutely
22.
it's the biggest hunk of shit.
Oh, that's the AR style. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
even want
yeah,
to
because
call it
there's
that.
because there's the 702 Plinkster, which is just it's like a really shrewd 1022 ripoff. Mix. It's like a love child between the 1022 and the Marlin Model 60 with a magazine. But they took that same action and put it in this like play school stock
Yeah.
of an AR
It's
chassis.
almost like a plastic chassis that just kind of like they screwed around.
Biggest hunk of shit on
Yeah.
God's green earth.
Did it
But
even work?
CCI mini mags made it work 60% of the time. If I put Remington bulk pack in there, it'd be about 90% of the time it jammed. I'd be looking to get 1 or 2 shots. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
60% of the time, all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But then I start from there and I go to the Ruger P85, and that's that gun.
Those things work.
It's So they are selling them for like $199 on Century Arms surplus section right now.
What?
There's an all nickel plated one, like
P89 or P90?
P85s. P85s.
P85?
Yeah.
Ooh. Just don't say that on the live stream because then everyone will go there and try to get one.
Yeah, definitely go there and pick. I think the more people that get the P85, the better. At one point, I wanted to do an evolution video of Ruger 9mm handguns, starting with the P85 and going to like the SR9 and like the Ruger American, then to the Security 9 and the evolution of them. And I wouldn't even bother with the LC9 because that thing's the biggest hunk of crap on God's green earth.
Yeah. What's it called? The LC what?
LC9.
I'm just kidding.
Like little crappy 9mm.
Little crappy 9, just like the LCP, the little crappy pistol.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. The Damien Christ, 60% of the time, it works every time. I want to get that I want to get that a T-shirt. Just put like the Mossberg 715T right there
with the Anchorman crew.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because like you could actually do have the Anchorman guys holding the Sex Panther thing, but like have Brick holding the Mossberg 71T or whatever. Works 60% of the time, every time.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing though. You get that point where you get that general progression of once people come out of the the government's trying to kill me. I'm afraid that Marauders are going to come break into my McMansion gated community when you live on the opposite side of the world, but they still get scared and you need a firearm. Or someone who lives in the inner city and they're like, okay, I see shit's going down. That that natural progression happens more often than you think, where again, you start off with that Glock 19, you get a holster, you get your core essentials or blue alpha gear belt, then you're carrying an extra mag, at that point, do I get a shotgun? All right, you pick up like a Mossberg 500, and then, all right, I think I might need a rifle. You get a PSA, or you get an M&P 15 as your first rifle, and you buy probably 10 PMags, and you get that Crimson Trace red dot that everyone tells you to buy, and then
or the True Glow.
True Glow. I've had a True Glow.
We all have. How do you think I knew to say it?
Yeah.
I've
had the True Glow. And the funny thing is, I love True Glow's TFX Pro sights. I know my buddy Andrew from Worth the Trigger despises those sights. I actually really like them.
I dislike them now, but only because I really like that. So, okay, really quickly, are you aware that all those little markings on the steel tritium sights from all these companies actually mean things?
No, I had no idea.
Okay. So somebody said, I was like, dude, the sights on my 43X, like, I like them, but if I'm going like the distance, like he's going for speed, if I'm going the distance with it, I just feel like the sight is so big, it covers so much of the silhouette. And my buddy was like, oh, well, you need trooper sights. I was like, the hold on, the what? Never heard of them. He's like, dude, you have Ameriglows on your sights. They're Ameriglows. I was like, yo, I've never heard of trooper sights. He said, no, they're Ameriglow sights with the T on the side. What they do is they basically make the sights skinnier, so it covers less of your target, so you're more accurate at greater distance, and you can see where your rounds are impacting like crazy. So I was like, oh my God. I started looking into this. I'm like, whoa, those little crazy markings on all of our tritium night sights actually mean shit. I had no idea. I know, bro. I could pull out my 48 and my 43X and show you right now. Look up Ameriglow Trooper.
I'm gonna go down a deep dark rabbit hole trying to figure that out now. Joe needs help. I did. Whoa.
The deep bubbles rabbit hole.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly.
Not dark rabbit hole.
Well, I mean, these bubbles glow.
Yes.
Joe needs help with accuracy. No, I don't.
That was one time. Okay.
It was one time with a
at
very
band camp.
It wasn't at band camp. It was at the PSA gathering. There's a video out there where Rich is literally trolling me the entire time.
Mess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
It,
you know what? You posted it like a champ, and you took look. Sometimes when you got 5
sometimes,
rounds,
yeah,
and you can't
sometimes
see
you
the
miss,
sights.
and
Yeah.
they have a massive fucking suppressor over non-suppressor height sights. What is that?
It's tough. You gotta, it's tough. Working around that can be difficult.
Yeah, all I'm saying is I was given the wrong stuff. Granted, the Archon Type B Gen 2 is a phenomenal shooting handgun. Um,
And that's PTR.
yeah, PT. I forget who used to make the Archon Type B. I want to say, like, I keep thinking Strike Industries, but it's not like Strike Industries, the parts manufacturer. It used to be called like the Strike One or something like that. Then
The
Arc,
Arsenal Strike One. Is that Arsenal?
yeah, I want to say Arsenal Archon Type B. I think Arsenal he bought them from Arsenal because the type Archon Type B, I want to say, is the same thing as the Strike One. I'm like, well, you know what? I've talked about this a few times on a podcast. I'm on the internet. Why don't we just look it up?
Yes, it is Arsenal Firearms.
Okay.
Wow, Strike One. Yo, DLD. I mean, bubbles for the win.
Bubbles. You're gonna have a live shot one day soon, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, I was told to look for bubbles," and you're
I'm
gonna be
gonna
like,
come in
"Mother."
and be like, "Here's Bubbles, everyone! Hey, it's Bubbles."
Come on, PLA says 0% of the time you hit it every time.
Dude, who was it? Um, Dust with the tactical turkeys. We started talking about 3D printing last night, and the guys were just kind of listening. I was talking to the whiskey and windage guys. They were like, "Hey, well, what kind of stuff? Like, what kind of advancements has there been in 3D printing?" But none of the other guys on the panel had printed, so I just was kind of talking for a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, well, come out in PLA mentioned, a really good comment. Like, click on his comment, please." And he said, "You mean come out and play?" I said, "No. Well, no, it's come out and play, but it's come out in PLA." He was like, "It's come out and play." I was like, "No, okay. So 3D printing, like you use something called PLA, and it's just so funny because like it's a different world. Lacking one letter Y can do so much to a name. Probably one of the most creative names out there."
Oh yeah, shout out to Come On PLA. I really appreciate all the support because if you guys haven't checked out the viewer count, this is why we moved to Rumble. We've been had a consistent 34 to 41 people watching the show. Okay,
Beautiful.
that's awesome. This is why we come to live stream on Rumble. We are over the 11 o'clock hour,
Dang.
I'm gonna give a educated guess that Big Josh had some family. I know he did tell me he has some family stuff going on today for Easter because it is Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
he also works a reverse shift.
yeah,
So
and he has a child that's
yeah.
like 2. Oh man, I think his son's almost 2 years old now. He's getting up there. I feel like the other day they just had him.
I
But
think I think his is old because mine's already 7, bro.
really,
Yeah, it's great. Time is just blowing past us.
it feels like in a couple, and it's not that far. She's gonna be driving.
I just that's terrible. Don't say that. I before we cut out, I just want to add one thing because you mentioned that like normal people, normal everyday people who probably used to laugh at like the doomsday prepper shows and laugh at gun guys and say, "Oh, my Second Amendment," right? Um, for so many people to come out of the sleeping phase and seek their own personal security is such I mean that is such a move, right? Most of it comes from a place of fear because they realize that, hey, there may not always be police to protect me, right? We just learned that like 20 years ago. But the funny thing is, think of this like thought process. All of these people that went to go purchase firearms literally had to sit down and think, things are getting so crazy that I may have to fucking kill somebody.
Yeah,
Like this is where our country is, right? Where like we people that are rocking an EDC every single day that are we're different. I honestly I don't consider us civilians. I
No.
consider us and certainly don't consider us like Leo and Mill, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we're different than the average civilian. What I'm telling you guys is that shit is getting so crazy that average civilians that don't carry guns, that don't love guns like we do, are sitting down talking with their families saying, hey, shit's getting crazy, we may have to kill people, we should get a gun. So we should use things like this that we're seeing as time goes on and say, if everyone is starting to, not everyone, if a lot of people, even the crazy leftist extremists, even Antifa is running around in full kit, things are changing. We got to make sure that we change and evolve and make sure that you're staying as safe as possible. Get right with your family, get right with God, because shit is getting crazy. And I love all y'all. Sorry, I just wanted to add that in there.
It's all good. Guys, this was the bonus episode. I'm so happy that Bubbles decided to come on, aka DLD After Dark. My
Boners episode. I mean, bonus.
Yeah. So it's Easter weekend. I hope you all that are watching take tomorrow. I am not doing anything for Easter. I'm probably just gonna I had a plan where I was probably just gonna play my Nintendo Switch all day, cook some pasta midday.
You got a Switch?
Yeah, I do. I love my Switch.
Do you ever throw it on your Glock?
Oh, I see what you did there. You did play
I'm
on
just
words.
playing. I'm joking.
But yeah, I was just gonna really do nothing at all tomorrow. If I leave the house, it will be a big if.
Those are the best days.
Oh yeah, it's kind of what I did tonight, but I had to run around. I had to go to the bank, post office. I went to the shop. So if you're in the Sarasota area and you're looking to get a couple 22s, check out the Bullet Hole. 3 of my guns are out there for really, really cheap. All of them are under $200. So check that out. But
would they take a sale from out of state? Like, could you buy it and then have them ship it to an FFL?
I mean, if you called them and said, "Hey, I heard my buddy put a gun on consignment. I want to buy it. Can I do that?" And
they'll probably just have you pay shipping and stuff. And
yeah, well, yeah, you probably pay more than what the gun's out there for. Like, I have one gun that's $100. I have one that's 150, and I have one that's 175. So
here's your chance, guys. You personally could own a shooting gallery firearm.
Yeah,
just think about it.
2 out of the 3 I have had videos on my channel. One is a Remington a Winchester Model 77. One is a Remington Model 33. Those 2 were on my channel, and I've had videos on those guns. One is $100 and one is $175. And then there's also a a Winchester Model 64, which I had planned to send to Babyface to have him redone at Chrome Vanadium Arms. But I have a few guns coming in for review that I need to make room in my safe. And those were the only 3 that will actually I'd be able to make room. So that's why I'm getting rid of them. But anyway, tomorrow I'm not going to do anything. But I hope you guys have a very happy Easter. If you guys go to church, pray for everyone. It's supposed to be a joyous day. I hope you guys have great dinner. If you do Easter egg hunts, which I never understood the whole. Like, I was talking to Christy today about this. I'm like, I don't understand the whole Easter bunny, Easter egg thing. Like,
it's just the commercialized version of Easter.
Yeah, like Easter is the resurrection of our Lord and Savior. Like,
yeah,
I don't get it.
It's the same thing as like Santa Claus. My wife, we're separated now. Like, I know, but my wife, like when she was growing up, they would hide like for real eggs, not like just little plastic eggs with candy in it. Like, they would hide eggs and like not find all of them. And then you go in the house and be like, yo, what smells like dead ass? So make sure you recover all of your eggs, guys.
Yeah, if you use real eggs. Like I know my dad growing up, he got so much joy out of all of us doing that, and I know he did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if you guys do that with your kids, have fun. and just be around family. That's what this is. Me, it's one of the holidays, very different for someone like me, just because, like, hey, I don't really have, I don't have a lot of people down here. So, like, I'm actually flying home to Massachusetts in 2 weeks to visit my mother for her birthday.
Oh, good.
So that's going to be really weird flying home, because it'll be different, like a full circle, because I'll be gone about a year. But me saying that, though, is spend time with your loved ones, spend time with the people that matter. And other than that, I love all you guys very much. Happy Easter. This has been the bonus episode. Make sure you are liking this video, share it with your friends. This will be going up sometime next week. So next week on the YouTube channel, you're going to get 2 podcasts, one with Kyle from Care Know How and one with Bubbles, aka Mr. Glow.
Yeah,
the glowiest of glows. I see, Kurt 24, Damien Christ come out in PLA, all you guys out there, they're all, saying, hey, happy Easter. Happy Easter, guys. I love you all so much. Stay safe, stay shooting. We will see you on Wednesday for episode 222 of the Shooting Lewis podcast. So, peace.
Thank you, guys. Later. Remember, Jesus Christ died for your sins.